Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about Cerberus in the solo lane and why I feel it's OP. First of all, let's talk about the passive. Spirit of Death. Anytime an enemy god within 50 units of Cerberus is healed, the healing is reduced by 20%, and Cerberus also receives 40% of the heal. And considering most gods you'll be playing in the solo lane have heal in their kit, or they have a lot of HP 5, such as a Nike or Capellan, it's going to be very beneficial for this guy to be in solo. Rather than talking about the first ability of Cerberus, I'm going to talk about the second ability because that would be the ability you take at level 1, more than likely. This ability does 20 damage per tick over 7 ticks, so it's going to do 140 damage at level 1. But it also has Protection Shred scaling from 6 up to 14, and then also a slow per tick scaling from 8 up to 12. Now, the slow can apply up to 3 times if it's in the middle of the targeter. So at level 1, it can go from anywhere between 8 and 24% slow, and the most protection reduction you can get at level 1 is 18, which, if you're facing a Colin, for example, his base stats at level 1 is going to be a 31 magical defense, just like most characters in the game. So already, you're going to shred him down to 13 protections, and that's kind of scary to think about, especially if you want to rush penetration boots and make him only have 3 protections. Now keep in mind, this does scale up to 14, so once you do have this maxed out at level 9, it's pretty nutty. It's 42 protection shred, and even if he does have, at that point in time, his boots, it doesn't matter. He still doesn't have any kind of magical protection, so you're just going to shred him for maximum amount of damage at that point in time. The second ability you'll take really depends on the situation, but most of the time I like to take his one, which is called the Paralyzing Spit. Basically, it's a hard to hit ability if you're not used to it. It takes a lot of practice, but if you hit an enemy with all 4 projectiles, not only is it going to do from 50 up to 170 damage per projectile. So if you have this maxed out at level 12, which would be your second maxed out ability, it's going to do 170 per projectile, so that's 340 2 times. If you hit all 4, that is 680 damage. Now, if you've gotten all the ticks on your 2, that's 6 times 7, that's 420 damage that you've done, not including the protection shred of that. So you have 420 plus 680, you're doing 1100 damage as Cerberus by level 12, sorry. And that's insane to think about because you're taking down a solo lane enemy past half health with 2 abilities if you land them properly. Not to mention, if you hit all 4 heads, you're going to stun them for 1.8 seconds, and it's so satisfying to hit that stun when you do hit it. After that, you're going to want to take his leap, which is called Soul Explosion. He leaps to an area, it's a 55 unit jump. You will get a heal per minion, which scales with magical power. It goes from 15 up to 55 per minion, so it could be as many minions as you want it to be, honestly. It can be up to 6, so if you can get up the whole wave, think about 55 per minion. That's over a 300 heal from just that wave. It also does scale slightly with magical power. However, the damage on this leap is pretty nice, but you mainly want to use this. You can use it to finish off the kill, but you kind of want to save this unless you really need the heal. Now also, you can get a heal off per god, which is double the original amount, which you're only going to hit 1 or 2 gods, let's be honest. Last but not least, Stygian Torment you'll be taking at level 5 almost every single time. 160 damage for a huge AoE ability, kind of like the Ares ult. It can be quite nutty. And it can help set up not only yourself, but your team for success in any engagement. So it's very important to try to take this at level 5 every single game. That leads us into, how do you want to build this god as far as the skills? You want to go 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then after that you just want to max your 2, max your 1, max your ultimate, and then finally max your 3. Now I want you to understand that this is viable against every single god that you'll face in solo lane, but there are matchups that can be difficult, such as Athena, who can cancel you out of your 2. That could be problematic. The gods that can cancel that clear, other than Athena, include Ardeo, Kumbhakarna, and Ymir. all that have ways to either silence, stun, or some sort of effect of that nature. Keep in mind that while Cerberus is in his 2, he is knockback immune. Therefore, someone like Tyr is not good to pick into Cerberus. Outside of that, I feel Cerberus can win almost any matchup if you play it correctly. Under the description, I will leave a link to a Google Sheets I created that gives you a build for every situation that you may occur. These are listed as 3 different types of gods you could face. You could face aggressive warriors such as Cuchulainn, passive warriors such as Nike, or you could face guardians, obviously, and they will fall under a different category. Not entirely separately, but I created one for that anyway. Now let's talk about how you should be clearing with Cerberus. I mentioned that you want to max it 2. So at level 1, you only want to focus the melees. The reason behind this is after you've cleared the melees and you're able to stick to, say, an aggressive soloed opponent as a Cuchulainn or Achilles, you're not only doing damage to them, but you're getting your Guardian's Blessing stacks completed. You're able to clear those minions, you're going to split that blue camp with your jungler, you're going to hit level 2 before the other solo laner does, unless they're doing the same exact thing. You're not going to lose any creeps. If you do, you may lose 1, but as long as you haven't done any damage to any of the archers, you really shouldn't be losing any experience or gold for doing such a thing. After that, you still want to try to hit the wave and the opponent at the same time. So it's best to clear from the sides, that way your 2 will hit every single minion, and as best you can, the enemy solo laner. Now early, I like to focus on the solo laner, as well as the melees, and then I can just clear up the archers later. But I try to get as much damage off of everything at one point in time. It makes the most use out of Cerberus' kit. However, if you're against a god that can interrupt your clear, either A, max your 2 and wait for the interrupt to be over with before you try to use it, or B, max the 1 and just make sure you hit the entire wave with it. That's not the most efficient way to clear a wave, but if it's what you have to do, it's what you have to do. After this video, feel free to leave a question or comment in the comment section below. I would do my best to give you the answer. If I can't answer it for you, I will lead you to the best place to get this information, and I hope that will be able to help you. Hope you enjoyed this video about Cerberus. I hope you agree with what my opinion is about Cerberus in the solo lane. That does it for me. Majabusha out.